go and check out episode 1 if you're just literally, this is like the first time that you're seeing this, because the first 3 steps of plan, research, and decide are key. If you just go jump in at number 4, what I'm about to show you now, it doesn't work. You got to do it one after the other. So please do go and check it out. But we're moving on to the booking stage. And the booking stage of this process, the 5-stage booking process, the booking stage is where it's a little bit out of your hands, tiny little bit out of your hands. And it all depends on one key part here. And that is who your PMS is, property management software, or PMP, property management platform.
What's up, everybody? My name's Mike Sjogren, here with my co-host
Emmanuel Pani.
We're part of a group of specialized real estate investors you've probably never heard of.
We didn't start with deep pockets or wealthy families, and we don't rely on 401ks, mutual funds, or traditional real estate investing.
In fact, many of us don't even own the properties that fund our freedom. If you ask the money experts out there, they'd say what we do is impossible, yet it's happening every single day.
It's happening through a new niche called short-term rentals.
We are Short-Term Rental Nation, and these are our secrets. What's going on, everybody? Welcome back to another episode of the Short-Term Rental Secrets podcast. I am your host, Mike Sjogren, here with my main man and brother from another mother, Mr. Emmanuel Pani. What is up, E?
My man, I feel like I'm back in school. Like, I feel like the past hour was me going back to college. I have my brain firing on all cylinders. And I'm also like humbled by how much shit I do wrong, honestly, to be honest with you, right? In the business for 10 years that I'm like, I definitely have way more notes than I did last time. And I have an extra set of notes on a yellow pad that are like, do this shit now kind of thing. So it's been a great time, great episode. I am so grateful that we have friends like Mark in our life and just people that are looking to give and serve. Like Mark can just kind of share. Yeah, man.
I love that. And just again, another quick announcement before we get back into part 2 of this 2-part series. I have set up a new texting community, guys. So I set this up so that folks can text me questions. You guys can text me your listings. I'll be doing free listing reviews, answering any of your questions. So you can text me personally at 978-321-6563. 978-321-6563. This goes directly to my phone, pops up as a text message, add me into your contacts, and any questions that you have about your short-term rental business, shoot me over a text or a voice note, and I'm going to be creating content on YouTube, Instagram, Facebook, and tagging you to answer these questions. So I want to create this cool interactive experience. I'm setting up this new series called Ask Mike, and just want to give you guys some free actionable content. So again, you can text me at 978-321-6563. Now, let's get back into it with my main man, Mr. Mark Simpson. What's up, buddy?
Thank you very much for having us. So yeah, just for context, we are literally going back to back, which is why we look a bit tired, because it's we are just going all in. And you know, I really wanted to do these 5 steps, and to add another bit of context, when I did these 5 steps like 5-6 years ago now, I broke it down, and I maybe did it over a couple of hours, a couple of different sessions. So be able to cram it into 90 minutes is a lot, but it's so key. And I'm loving how quickly it's flowing. And I know for a lot of people who maybe listened or watched episode 1, they're like, wow, that is a lot of information. But the cool thing about this, unlike Clubhouse, is that it is recorded. So you can go back on it. There's links that I gave in the first episode that you can go and check out, and you can do it in your own time. So all of this is easily digestible when you break it down into each part, but they're all key. You can't just go straight into what I'm about to talk about without doing the first 3. So it's really important you go and check out episode 1 if you're just literally, this is like the first time that you're seeing this, because the first 3 steps of plan, research, and decide are key. If you just go jump in at number 4, what I'm about to show you now, it doesn't work. You got to do it one after the other. So please do go and check it out. But we're moving on to the booking stage. And the booking stage of this process, the 5-stage booking process, the booking stage is where it's a little bit out of your hands, tiny little bit out of your hands. And it all depends on one key part here. And that is who your PMS is, property management software, or PMP, property management platform. And, you know, there are 1,000 of these guys. There are loads of them. And, you know, for a lot of people that I speak to, with the beauty of Clubhouse and being able to speak to so many people who've got so many different parts of hospitality businesses in them, so many people still don't have one of these. And it is key and crucial to have it if you ever want to increase your own bookings. So in simple terms, what a PMP is, a property management platform, it is going to be your central booking calendar. This is where all of your bookings come in from. So it links up to Airbnb, it links up to booking.com, it links up to Vrbo, the Expedia group. And it also gives you an option to take your own bookings on your own platform, i.e. your own website. It links up to Stripe, it links up to PayPal and all of those cool things as well. But it's really important that you pick a platform that has a world-class booking engine. The reason why I say this is that if you ever want to master the art of direct bookings, then you've got to make sure that the actual booking process is very, very, very good. And unfortunately, and I'm not going to name any names because I'm not like that, but there are some companies that don't put enough emphasis on this part of their business. They work all day long on linking up to all these big channels. They do all of the things. But when it comes to the actual most important part, which is taking payment or getting the details from a guest, they eradicate it. Now, there's some that do it better than others, but you have to go and do your own research. But the main thing about the booking part is that there has to be no barriers at this point. And the easiest way to find out if your current PMS or PMP, whatever you want to call it, is right for your business right now, is go and put a dummy booking through your platform. Go put a dummy booking through your website. So whoever you may have, whoever you may do, if you're literally thinking, well, what the hell is he talking about, PMP? Go to this domain, because I've reviewed over 100. I interviewed 100 hosts, got the pros and cons of them all. Just go and check them out. So boostly.co.uk/PMS. Okay. So whoever you have and whoever you use, open up your phone, go to your website, click book now. And if you don't have a website, come to Boostly. We do websites. We do the best websites, money back guarantee, all of that jazz. Go and do a pretend dummy booking on your website. Go to the book now, open up your online booking engine, whoever that may be. And what you're looking for is, number one, is the screen decent enough? So even fat thumbs like me can tap and tap and tap. And we're doing it on our mobile. Why are we doing it on the mobile? Because everybody uses a mobile phone nowadays. It's ridiculous. The whole world is going to these mobile devices. So you've got to make sure that it's easily bookable on a mobile. Make sure that if they don't have to like pinch the screen to zoom in and zoom out, because people don't do that. Make sure that it's really easy to put your details in. You know, if you have got a PMS or a PMP that can take the address, you know, contact details, but most importantly, the card details. If you've got a PMP platform, a PMS platform, an online booking engine that can do instant pay with Apple, that's fantastic. Because then you don't have to type all the, you know, they don't have to get the card next to them and just tap, 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 you know. And this is really important, because if you're struggling, if you are struggling, and this is your business, your website, you know every single nook and cranny of it, then put your mind into your guest. And a stupidly shocking statistic is that 83% of people have said is that if they have a bad user experience, even at the point of booking, they will leave and they will never come back. Never come back. So you could have done all the ridiculously hard work planning. You've made sure that your business is at the forefront of that person's eyes right at the very start. You've boxed off research. So they've done all the research. They've found 10 properties. They've found you. They've gone with you, and they've gone to decide. And they've gone, yeah, you know what? This is for me. Boxed up. We've done everything. Okayed it with the missus. Dates work well. Gonna go and book it. Oh, you've messed up at this stage because your booking engine let you down and they've left. And when they leave, they go elsewhere. The best case worst scenario, the best worst case scenario is they just go to booking.com and book with you there. But then that's the best worst case. The worst case is they go book somewhere else and you've lost that revenue completely. Now, I want everybody, and I know there's going to be two people here. Number one, you've got a website and an online booking engine. Go and test it. It literally takes a few minutes. Put a coupon code on your PMS. Do it with it's a 99.9% discount or 100% discount or whatever, so you don't actually get charged. And go and run it and test it. And if you are unable to make a decision, then text a buddy, text a friend, text somebody that you trust to do it. Now, if you don't trust them to give you a real answer because they just want to give you the old, yes, it's amazing, then there's a really cool website called usertesting.com. Usertesting.com. And you will pay a stranger to test it for you. Now, the cool thing about usertesting.com is that you can filter every tester to fit your avatar. So it goes on age, sex, it goes on what they like, what they dislike, where they are in the world, their technology capabilities, beginner, advanced, expert, etc. You can run all them through, and you can pretty much book in 3 people for like $100. I swear by this. I do it for every website that I ever launch. Every idea that I have, I run it through here, and you set the parameters. So you say, okay, Mr. Tester, what I want for you to do is go to my domain. I want you to try and make a booking. And what happens is they record their screen and they talk you through it. And these can be vicious because they have got no affiliation to you. And like you're asking your best mate and they're like secretly going, you know what, I want to slaughter this guy, but I'm going around his for a barbecue next week. I want to be looked after. You know what I mean? So it's like, if you do it with somebody on user testing, they don't know you from Adam, and they are vicious and brutal, but it's good feedback because this is exactly what you don't get from your guests. Your guests don't record their screen and go, oh, Mike, by the way, when I tried to make this booking review, you don't get that. You just get the bounce and they never come back. So usertesting.com is ideal. Now, what I always stress at this point is that if you haven't got an online booking engine, if you haven't got a PMS, go and get one. Because you are never, ever, ever going to cut down on your over-reliance on the OTAs if you don't box this off, if you don't master this. You will always be under their power, under their control. And I don't care if you've got 1 listing or if you've got 100 listings. You need to have a PMS, because what a PMS does, what a PMP does, what an online booking engine does, it means that you can be on more than one platform at once, and you are not building your house on someone else's land. So you can start to build a database. And that's marketing down the future, remarketing down the future. You can start to take your own bookings. And like Mike said, the example that he gave of the $50,000 in commission costs, just imagine if you can just take a 5% or a 10% chunk on that. 10% chunk on that is, that's paying another staff member. That's 20% chunk. That's talking serious money here. And all that is with simple little incremental changes that have massive improvements in your business. So that's the booking stage. So before I move on to the final one, is there any questions or anything you want to just come in on that one, or can we go straight into the final one?
Go for it.
I think we're good, man. I think we're good. I love the idea of testing the sites. I mean, in any business, it could be testing your email blast. It could be testing your website. It could be testing your booking engine. Staying in your site, in your place too. I know we're talking about marketing direct bookings, but when you launch a new unit, spend a night in your unit.
Oh yeah.
Like take a shower in it, watch TV, try and use the Wi-Fi, sleep in the bed, like everything, test it.
Yeah, exactly. I mean, it's weird, right? Because the industry that we're in, there's no other one like it. It's literally having strangers coming to stay in your house, or a house that you're looking after for somebody else, and it's so different. And so many people who come to me and they go, Mark, well, you talk about hospitality, but I'm not in hospitality. I'm a property guy. I'm a property guy. I do property. I'm real estate. It's bullshit. As soon as you have a member of the public come and stay in one of your properties, you're in my world, which is hospitality. And I don't care what you say or what you do, at 11 o'clock at night, if you've got a guest who can't turn on the TV, they are going to be finding you left, right, and center. If you haven't got your systems and structure in place, that is hospitality. So you better realize it sooner rather than later. So the guest experience is everything. Now, the mad thing about everything that we're discussing, guest experience plays no part in it. We're doing the hard bit at the start to make that whole part of the journey easier. But this is the trick. And it may seem daunting. It may seem that there's a lot to do, but I will re-emphasize this. All you have to do, like what he's doing, is a little sticky note, Get this shit done now. Just get little bits done now. Move the needle slowly. I'm not asking you to totally transform your business after listening to this podcast, but set a plan out to slowly do different little things each day. And if you can do it over a course of 1 month, 2 months, 3 months, a season, then you're setting your business up for a very long time to be very successful and not only survive this absolute chaos that what this last year has been, but thrive on the other end. So the final one is buyer's remorse. Now, buyer's remorse, everybody has buyer's remorse in some way, shape, or form. I will show you mine. This right here is my buyer's remorse. I literally bought it 24 hours ago. I haven't got a clue how to use it. Turns out I've got the totally wrong microphone, how to use it. So this is my buyer's remorse. I could have acted in many different ways, shape, or form. That is a podcast mixer, right? So I could have acted in so many different ways or form. I bought it, I could have returned it, but because of some very, very cool customer support, I've been able to figure out a solution around it. We all have buyer's remorse, never more so in a holiday or a vacation or a place to go and stay. Now, what we do, what you do in this instant is how can you eliminate it? Now, the sad matter of the fact is that if you have a booking come through from an OTA, the average cancellation is about 36 to 37%. It's very, very high. You know, if we just look at it, 1 in every three bookings is going to be a cancellation in some way, shape, or form. Now, what can we do to eliminate that? And what can you do that nobody else is doing? And again, when I first put this together, this 5-step together a long time ago in 2016, there wasn't anything as such as email automations around. Now we're very lucky that there are very cool tools like Smart B&B. All of the PMP platforms have got email triggers in some way, shape, or form. So they can keep in touch with the guest at every single step from the point of booking to the point of arrival. Right now, where we're talking right this second, the lead time from point of booking to point of arrival is getting shorter. And it's not like what we had maybe a year or 2 years ago, is that you'd maybe have a couple of months to sort of chat to the guest before arrival. Now, this changes all over the time and timescales and whatnot. But what you're basically looking to do at this point is you're looking to get in contact with the guest as soon as possible to just make them feel like they've made the right decision. And you know, when I mentioned in the deciding stage on how you can stand, and again, this is podcast 1 chat, so if you've not listened to it, go back on it, but this is a very, very quick overview of it. In the decision stage, it's what can you do to basically eliminate any barriers that someone will have before booking with you. And the main one right now, again, this is being recorded February 2021, the main one is cancellation. If I book with you now, what are the chances of me being able to go there? What can you do? And having a worry-free cancellation policy is one of the easiest ways of doing it. And I've got a couple of people in my world that are testing a 24-hour cancellation policy, which is, you know, it's kind of brave, really brave for short-term rentals, because again, it's hotels can do this, 200, 300 bed hotels can do this, but to have 24-hour. So what can you do to eliminate the risk of when it comes to that day of booking that you haven't got an empty unit? How can you do that? Number one is this. It's WhatsApp. It's being on the phone. It's actually giving a fuck about our guests. And it's so easy to fall in the trap of when you're at your absolute busiest to just look at a guest as a number. And I used to do this. I used to fall foul of this all the time. It's that week in August when you've got a 14-bedroom guest house, you've got 3 cottages, you've got busy tea rooms, you've got kids, you've got a wife, you've got family, you've got all the commitments and all of the things. It's literally just going churn. But if you can really focus on the guest experience and making every person count, then you are going to separate yourself out from the rest. And the simplest way of doing that is treating them like a human, having that one-on-one connection, because at the end of the day, people buy from people and people will recommend people that they like. It's called relationship building. Now, you may be sat there with hundreds of properties going, I can't be doing that. I ain't got the time. Well, you're lucky. You've got 200 properties. Hire someone to do it for you. It's called guest relations. This is what the hotels do really well. They're guest relation managers. You know, you go into those big properties, those big units, those, 200, 300 properties. As soon as you walk through the door, There's somebody there and they're your guest relations. And it's doing that before they even arrive.
Dude,
And
it's so funny that you're saying this because I never did this before, right? But when COVID hit heavy back in like March and April and cancellations started coming in, I told my team, I said, I want you to pull all of our reservations for the next 2 months. And I want you to get on the phone and call these people and just touch base with them and just say, hey, how's it going? Hope you're doing well. We walked them through all of our new cleaning protocols, let them know what restaurants we're doing takeout, blah, blah, blah. Like letting them know that we give a shit and we want to take care of them and what we were doing to keep them safe. As soon as we started doing that, the cancellations just dropped off like immediately. Like literally like that day, we just saw a massive change in cancellations because people just want to feel like they're getting taken care of.
Exactly. You hit the nail on the head. It's, and this is what the OTAs try and tune you out from doing. And again, it's not knocking them, but at the end of the day, we get treated like the OTAs just like a number. We are just a number in the cog of their machine. And they get the way that it all works in their system is that they just program you in to do it. If you think about it from what we're doing, from what we are doing in hospitality, why do people come and stay in small B&Bs or come and stay in properties like ours? Is because of the human connection that they don't get when they go into these bigger like faceless corporations. It's the hospitality, it's hospitality. It says it in the friggin' name. So what can you do to put your guests' minds at ease? And the cool thing about being in contact, and it can be a simple voice note. It literally doesn't have to be a phone call, where you're on the phone for 30 minutes and you're finding out about the dog's favorite food, and you're like, fuck, man, got to get off the phone. But you can literally do a quick voice note and it's, hey, E, thanks so much for making the booking. We're really looking forward to seeing you. Please check out your emails because we're going to send you a couple of emails, going to give you a breakdown of what's going on in the area. Check out our digital guidebook. I'll talk about digital guidebooks in a second. Check out our digital guidebook because it gives you everything that you need to know about check-in codes, restaurants are open, takeaways. Again, we're so looking forward to having you. Thank you so much for your custom right now. It means a lot in these crazy times. And again, you can go in so many tangents after this. If they get back to you, again, quick voice note back. Hey, I really appreciate you getting back to me. By the way, do you know anybody who's coming to the area soon? Or did you know that there's a big thing going on? Do you know anybody that needs accommodation? Because we've got other units. Because at the end of the day, they may have just seen you for your one property, your one unit. They may only, they don't know about you and your business. They don't know about your portfolio. Again, don't be naive to think they know everything about you. They don't. They may just know about one place, one unit, made property. They may not know that you've got 40 other units right here. It's like, hey, did you know we've got more? You've got anybody else who's coming to the area, work, business, whatever. That little, do you know anyone? Those 4 words are so powerful because 8 out of 10 times they may go, nah, sorry, don't. 2 times somebody goes, oh yeah, I do actually. I've got someone who's coming into town for work and he's looking for a place for the next year. Fuck, you just sorted yourself out. And it's, do you know anyone? It's free. It costs nothing. And what's the worst they're going to say? No. You know what? I used to work in sales, cold sales. I heard no 10 hours a day, but there's that one yes. And that's literally all it is. And it's all done through this. And it makes it so easy with WhatsApp because it's free. So buyer's remorse, how can you eliminate that? And now, again, I keep teasing digital guidebooks. Digital guidebooks are going to be the future of our industry. There should be nobody should ever have any excuse ever of having a laminate on your kitchen table at the point of arrival with dirty, crusty takeaway leaflets that nobody wants to touch because they're literally filled with coronavirus. They don't want that. They don't need that anymore. And to think about the faff and the hassle of replacing it. You don't need to. Digital guidebooks. And there are free solutions.
Let me just give a quick plug to Hostfuly because I've had them on and I know you like them and you've worked with them.
Love them.
And
Touch day.
If you use code STR Secrets, I think they give you like 2 months free of their guidebook or like 15% off or some crazy offer. It's well worth the money. Trust me.
100%. Hostfuly is free. It's got a freemium. So like you say, it's free for one guidebook. One guidebook is free and you can cut your teeth. And it's I'm throwing so many Britishisms in here and I do apologize, but like cut your teeth is get started. So you get started and if you ever want to upgrade, like you say, put in that code, you get 2 months free, phenomenal. And then the other one is Touch Day. So Touch Day is like you pay up front. But again, both of them are fantastic. And they are the leaders in this industry. And, you know, Touch Day only created a digital guidebook out of a frustration from the owners. They were more known for being a PMS. But my God, this whole COVID has just taken off on the digital guidebooks, because now no one wants, and you can't have them in your property because other people are touching them with their grimy hands. So again, digital guidebook, and they work so well because a guidebook in itself, in practical terms, works as soon as somebody steps through your door. Most of the time, they are used to explain about checkout procedures, maybe drop the old Wi-Fi code in there. Again, takeaway stuffed in there left, right, and center. The beauty of having a digital guidebook is that you can send it at the point of booking. And that will tell the guest everything that they need to know, how to get in. You know, if you're really clever and you get QR codes up and around your property. And again, these phones now are so more easily adaptable to QR codes. You can literally hover it over it. It will pick it up and take it where it needs to go. You combine digital guidebooks with QR codes, and your life will be so much easier. If you do a digital guidebook right, there should be not one question that a guest should ever have to bother you with again. Because again, with hospitality, we know that guests, our lovely guests, love to ask a lot of questions. And, you know, we're kind of fortunate at the moment where things are a bit slow compared to a normal year. Just think about everything that you put into practice in your business. You've got to be planning. And I learned this very early in hospitality. Everything that you put into planning your business, you've got to plan for it being the busiest week of your year. That week in August or that week in July 4th week, when you are just fully booked and you've got all the things going on and questions coming left, right, and center. So a digital guidebook will mean if you do it properly, you've got the FAQ in there, you've got all these really cool answers, you can record videos, Dropbox or whatever, so that it will never, ever, a question will never come up. And if anybody asks a question, you hit them with the link to the guidebook. It's literally, you can have it saved on your notes. So if a question comes in on wherever platform it may be, email, whatever it may be, live chat, it's just literally copy, paste. It's like, hey, it's answered here. Hey, it's answered here. They will literally stop bothering you because you can go, hey, it's answered here. And you can even go a step further. Your email signature that's automated, every time an email comes in and out or whatever, in the email signature, it can be, check out our FAQs or check out our digital guidebook here. It's literally there, every single email that comes out, so they will never, ever have to pester you again for questions. And that's what the power of a digital guidebook does. And by these two things, well, three things, email triggers. So an email trigger is point of arrival, maybe 3 days before booking, 3 days before arrival, date of arrival. And again, post-checkout, but we're talking about marketing, what I talked about on the other podcast. But these things will just eliminate that buyer's remorse because they feel like they're being treated like a human, like a person. And that is all that they want to do. And that's all that you would expect if you were to book a stay. And I've booked lots of stays, and I've booked at amazing places, and I've booked at shitty places. But at the end of the day, it's those that go that extra step, those that actually treat me like a human. When everybody's zigging, you zagging, then it just works a treat. And I don't care if a guest books with you directly or via an OTA. If that guest has a great time and they come back and they book via an OTA again, then you failed in every single step of what you do. Because as soon as a guest leaves your property and you've got their contact information, real email address, etc., phone number, WhatsApp, then this is where the next stage of what I talk about comes in. And this could be a total other episode. In fact, we covered so many of it in like the first episode that we did together, but there's so many other things that you can do to make sure that that will never, ever happen. But if you can box off these 5 in a time where it gets to slow season, and, you know, we're very fortunate in that you can think of a couple of dates right now in your calendar of the year coming up, and you know that you could be booked 2, 3, 4, 5 times over. This is where this maybe doesn't come in so much into the psyche. It can maybe work on a direct booking level, so make sure you're not paying so much in commissions. But this works when it's slow season, shoulder season, as we call it, where it's really slow for bookings. And you're thinking, where am I going to get this extra income this month and whatnot? And this is where this really comes in, because this separates you from the rest, and you make sure that you're targeting your ideal guests, the ones that you want to stay in with you. And it just works time and time and time and time again. You do it once and you're pretty much set in stone. So you don't have to look at it for at least a year.
Dude, I love it. I love it. Ken actually posted a question in the group that I thought was a good question. How do you manage your guest database? And there's a ton of tools that we could talk about, but
yeah, I mean, the really cool thing is that we talked about Hostfuly. They are looking to bring in what's called a CRM, which is basically fancy term for guest database tools. And the property management platforms, the PMSs at the moment, if you want to have a CRM, which is like basically guest relations and sales and whatnot, you have to be at a high level of properties to have it built in. Or you're going to have to rely on third-party tools to link it all together. But the PMP platforms are now looking at bringing it all in-house. Hostfuly are definitely leading the way on this, and there's others that are looking to do it as well. But you can easily right now for free do it with something like MailChimp. MailChimp is so ridiculously easy to use. It's been made, it's not built for hospitality, but it's a hospitality owner's dream. And again, if whoever you're using as a PMP, for example, as a property management platform, you can link it up with Zapier, which is an automation tool, link it all together. So when a guest books, they can get fed into MailChimp, or even better, you can link them up to something that's called Jotform. So Jotform is like Google Forms. A booking is made. And I talked about in the last episode, not the last one, but the last one, where I said the really cool, simple hack of converting an OTA booking into a direct booking by simply having an earlier check-in. And that email goes out. What you can do as well in that email, you can, in the next follow-up email with the email triggers that goes 24 hours later, you can have a simple email that goes out saying, hey, Mike, do me a favor, just fill in this for our records, just so we can make the check-in process as smooth as possible. And that link will go to a Jotform. And what you're going to do with this is you're going to get as much information as possible. First name, last name, date of birth. I'll come back to date of birth in a second. Real email address, WhatsApp number, and at the bottom in these Jotforms, Google Forms, you can have a little box. And this is really important now for modern day marketing. There's a little box where they have to tick to say, I am happy to receive a marketing email, text message, et cetera. More emails, because in Europe, we've got GDPR. In America, you've got your version in or coming in, which means they have to physically opt in to get any future like marketing emails from you. And again, there's so many different ways you can go down that, but by this guy getting that tick, you're good. And then when that gets filled in, the automation with Zapier will then take it into MailChimp, and it's sat there. And what will go over into MailChimp will be their name, their last name, their location, which is key, their date of birth, I'll come back to that in a second, and their real email. So that means you've got data to use. Now, there's some really cool features in MailChimp that will automate this process, but you can have it in MailChimp where it's set up so that 6 months before their birthday or 3 months before their birthday, that guest will get an email from you to say, your birthday's coming up. Why not book yourself a little trip to come and see us? Why not treat yourself? Or you can send them a message on the actual birthday saying, happy birthday, when you're going to come and see us next so we can celebrate in style. We can look after you. All automated. And it's so powerful. And this is the tools that the big businesses have at their hand, but it's giving it to little businesses like us to give us a bit of an advantage. And again, even if you don't do it as an email, imagine how cool it would be if a place that you stayed at last year, on your birthday, you got a WhatsApp voice note going, hey, happy birthday. Hope you're doing well. Are you coming to the area soon? We'd love to see you. Or do you know anybody that's coming in? And again, and you can do all that through being on the database and WhatsApp right there. How, for a guest relation, for like a human level, how much would that stand out? And again, for admin wise, nothing, 5-10 minutes, if that. If you're not going to do it, hire someone to do it for you. And again, it's what stands you out from everybody else. So a little extra nugget to give on that.
Damn. Well, this has been amazing, which I knew it would be. And I'm glad we carved out, well, we went 97 minutes, but we've been going for a while. But truly appreciate you and everything you do, man. So why don't you tell the listeners a little bit more about where they can get in touch with you, learn more about Boostly and all the cool stuff that you guys offer.
So the easiest place to start, first and foremost, thank you. I love doing this, and I'll come on time and time again. Just give me a time and a date and I'll be there. You line up the questions and I'll answer them. The best place for people to go, and if you want to get a 5-step guide into how to get direct bookings, just go to boostly.co.uk, boostly.co.uk, pop in your email, answer a couple of questions, tell me a little bit more about your business, and then what you'll get back is 5 videos that will help you increase your direct bookings. As you can pretty much tell, there's a lot up here. And so what I've done over the last 4 years is put it all down into YouTube videos, and just basically my whole shtick is that I want to give 99% of what I do away for free, which is why I do podcasts, videos, emails, blog posts, daily podcasts, all of the things. Because I'm on a pretty ambitious goal to help 1 million hosts by 2040 increase their direct bookings, cut down on the over-reliance. Because I want to take on these OTAs. I want them to cut the commission costs down to 10%. I think 10% is a fine number. I want them to give us more data, more power. And I also want them to treat us more like partners, like they say they do, which is bullshit. They don't. So by doing that, the only way I'm going to do that, I'm going to achieve that, is by helping en masse hosts. So I do all of this for free. And then if anybody wants to help support the journey, because, at the end of the day, I can't walk into my supermarket and go, I'm doing all this for free, can I have some bread for free? Then you can help by actually investing into the company, investing into the book direct movement by going to boostlywebsite.com, getting a website. I do training. I'm writing a book. You can buy the book. There's loads of different ways that you can get involved. But it all starts at boostly.co.uk. So, you guys are amazing. After we did the first podcast, loads of people reached out from your community, your podcast, to say that they discovered me via here. So it's awesome to start a conversation with everybody. And if you want to have a chat, Instagram is the best. I love Instagram, at Boostly UK. I do daily stories. I do daily videos on there. And yeah.
You want to plug the clubhouse we're going to be doing again in a couple of weeks?
Yeah, that's going to be really cool. So about a month ago, we did a 24-hour clubhouse room, and it was an idea that turned into a thing. And, I just opened up my black book, and we've got people from all over the world to come and join in, which was phenomenal. And I've went away and I've made it bigger and better. And we're going to do it again. 24th and the 25th of February, we're going to go 24 hours. I've again opened up the black book. Now more people know what Clubhouse is. We've got more cool people that can come in and jump in from all over the world. So all the time zones are sorted. This time I'm going to make sure that Mike and E don't have to do so many hours in there, because it was a lot of hours last time. And we're gonna do it where I'm going to get 24 prizes for 24 hours. We're going to be doing giveaways every hour. I want to get 500 people in this room. We set the challenge last time. We didn't quite do it, but we're going to do it this time. I've actually been on a Clubhouse course. I've learned some hacks and some tips and some tricks. I've reached out to a buddy of mine who is a very, very good marketing guy. He just, if you think I'm good, he's 10 times better. He knows every in and out, nooks and crannies, all of this. I've done his course and I know exactly how Clubhouse and the algorithm works now. So it's going to be one that we're going to get seen by everybody. So I want people to come and join. All you need to do, load up Clubhouse at Mr. Mark Simpson. And the cool thing is, the reason why I bought that bit of kit, that buyer's remorse thing that I'm talking about, is that I'm going to be able to stream on YouTube, on Twitch and YouTube live for the 24 hours of the Clubhouse room. So if you are on an Android device, if you haven't got Clubhouse, but you're intrigued, you can still catch it on YouTube, and we're going to do it live for the whole 24 hours. So I'm going to be messing around for the next week, figuring out how to make it happen, but anybody can join in. So I've actually got a link that you can go to put your name down if you want to get a ping, a text message ping, just as we're going live. And I will get that for you. It is boostly.co.uk/clubhouse24. So if you could put that in the comments, anybody, that'd be great. boostly.co.uk/clubhouse24. Pop your email in and I'll give you more information when we get closer to it. But on the date, on the time that we go live, I'll send you a ping and come and join in. That's it. I've got some really cool ideas of what we're going to do. The first 3 hours, I'm gonna main moderate it. I've got some really cool little segments that I want to discuss and chat and talk about. But yeah, come and join in the conversation, sharing stories, sharing wins, and learn. The whole goal of the room is to start, grow, and scale your STR business.
Love it. And I think I'm running the helm from like 9 o'clock till midnight or something like that. So
yeah.
he will be in
sharing
there.
that sheet with you. Do not worry. We're organized. We've got a Google sheet.
I've become very wary of coming to Clubhouse too late at night. If anybody follows me knows that I get up very early to go train. And I realized that my 4:30 alarm clock and my 9 p.m. Clubhouses don't work very well together, because then I'm wired as shit after my Clubhouse, and I'm there in bed until like 11:30 figuring out and thinking about things. So I have to be very mindful, but I'll be there for that specific room.
Well, because it's a 24-hour room, because it's 24-hour, you can hit it at any time, and we will be there. So that's the cool thing about it, because I get Clubhouse envy when I see all you guys doing your rooms at like 1 o'clock morning my time, and I'm fast asleep because I've got the kids. I do the early slot. I get up at 6 with the kids. So I can't be up at 1 o'clock in the morning doing Clubhouse rooms. So I get Clubhouse envy, but because we're doing it like this, it doesn't matter where you are in the world, you can join in so much shape or form.
Love
Awesome.
it. Well, Mr.
Really,
Mark
thank you, man.
Simpson, thank you
Pleasure.
so much, brother. Truly appreciate you. Looking forward to hanging more with you on Clubhouse, Instagram. I guarantee we're going to have you back on the podcast at some point. Make sure you guys, again, go to boostly.co.uk. Check out all the links that we got in the show notes from all the resources and all his content that he was sharing. Make sure you follow Mark and keep an eye out for his book. I don't know. Do you have a release date yet on that? I know you're still working on it.
Yeah, it's going to be November this year.
Nice.
And if anybody wants to help me write it, so basically I've got about 100 people, and I'm calling it the Book Direct Early Release Squad. And what I'm doing is whenever I finish a chapter, I'm putting it up in a Google Doc, and I'm sharing it just with the people who join. And they're proofreading it as I go, which is phenomenal. It's amazing when you do a job like this and you've got so many people. I've got over 1,000 clients now. There's thousands upon thousands of people who follow me and sort of like invested in this journey, which is amazing. When you come into hospitality, it's really cool because you normally come into hospitality on the back of doing something else. And it could have been a couple of careers or whatever, but there's so many people that I have found that have got amazing careers before hospitality. And there's so many people who have been authors or proofreaders, copywriters, and they are just all saying, yeah, it's phenomenal. So if you want to be part of it, boostly.co.uk/book. What I'm doing is anybody who joins now, before it gets launched in November, I'm going to do an exclusive Zoom call where I go through all the tips. So basically the book is called the Book Direct Playbook. And it's basically picking everything out of my brain and putting it into book form. And it's modeled on this. This is my favorite book of all time, Tools of Titan by Tim Ferriss. When you read this book, you don't go from page 1 to page whatever. You find a person that you want to learn about, Mark Anderson or Reid Hoffman or whatever. You go read that chapter and then you go to the next one. So that's why I've called it a playbook. It's like a sports playbook. You go in, you find email marketing or the guest booking process. You read it, you take the tips, you go and implement it. And if you can't implement from reading, I'm going to create a whole course, a free course to go alongside it. So I've already bought the domain bookdirectplaybook.com. And so as we do it, there's going to be loads of GIDs, get it done sessions. So this is going to be me. This is going to be my one ever book that I do. It's never going to be done again. If I do it, it'll just be like updates of what it is. But this is going to be massive. And I've got my whole year dedicated to it. That's why it's being released in November. I'm going to get the first draft finished by the end of next month. And then I'm going to create the course while I get an editor to make understanding of my brain dumps that I put down and every single day. So yeah, I'm writing like 1,000 words a day, which is pretty crazy, seeing that we've got kids in isolation, kids throwing up and doing all the things. And, normally I can get it done while the kids are at school, but just got them all here. But I'm determined to get it done by the end of March. So yeah, powering on Pomodoros every day.
Love it, man. I love it. Well, thank you again for being on here. Again, everybody make sure you follow Mark and Boostly on all the major platforms. Check out his YouTube channel, check out his podcast, go to his website. The dude is a wealth of knowledge, and he's one of the most giving people I know. I mean, what time is it right now over there? It's almost midnight.
It's 15 minutes to bedtime. Let's call it that.
Yeah, it is super late, and he's always willing to share and give. So thanks again, brother. Really appreciate you, and we'll see you next time.
My pleasure. Thank you so much.
Bye-bye.
Hey, STR Nation, if you enjoyed this episode, please make sure to hit that subscribe button and leave us a review. And in the comments, let us know what topics you want us to cover on upcoming episodes, and we'll make sure to get that in the books for you. And if you really want to learn how to launch, automate, and scale your short-term rental business, if you want to go deeper, then check out our free masterclass at strsecrets.com.